I'm Bhakti Lalita, and welcome to my podcast, Hari Katha. In today's episode, I'd like to read a verse from the Prapanna-jīvanāmṛtam, Life-Nectar of the Surrendered Souls, by Śrīla Bhakti Rakṣak Śrīdhar Dev-Goswāmī Mahārāj. And this particular verse is a favorite of mine, and its origin is from the Śrīmad Bhagavatam. Śrīla Śrīdhar Mahārāj collected it from the Bhagavatam in the 11th canto. It's the Uddhava Gita, where Uddhava and Lord Shri Krishna have a conversation. And this is towards the end of the Bhagavatam and the end of Krishna's manifest pastimes, where he's revealing all the most substantial things, revealing his heart and all the secrets to devotion. And he speaks these words to Uddhava. Jata shradho matkatashu nirvana sarva karmashu vedadukatmakan kaman parityage pyahanishvara tato bhajitam amrita shradhaludrita nishchaya drushamanas chata kaman dukodhara kams chagharyan proktena bhakti yogena bhajato maskarin mune kamahridaya nashyanti savimai hridishtite vidyate hridaya grantis chidyante sava samsaya kiyante chasya karmani maidrishtye kilatmani. And Śrīla Śrīdhar Mahārāj says, for one who receives the seed of devotion, who is selfless and penitent, denouncing their inability to abandon mundane enjoyment despite realizing it to be the embodiment of suffering, and who sincerely gives themselves incessantly to all the practices of devotion. In the heart of such a devotee, the Supreme Lord ascends like the rising sun to annihilate all ignorance with its reactions, revealing his divine personality in all its pristine glory. And here's the verse translated, spoken by Lord Shri Krishna. He who has imbibed heart's faith in the tidings of my name, nature, and pastimes, who has become indifferent to all kinds of fruit of work and its rewards, who has learnt that all forms of enjoyment of sensual passions ultimately transform into misery, yet he is fully unable to abandon such passions. Such a faithful devotee, being determined that his shortcomings will be dispelled by the potency of devotion, gradually comes to abhor those evil passions that enslave him, knowing the havoc they wreak. And he serves me with love. When his objective is pure and sincere, I give him my mercy. In this way, the introspective devotee unceasingly absorbs himself in all the practices of devotional service as enunciated by me. And I, who am situated in the heart of my devotee, strike at the root of all the material urges that infect his heart, reducing them to oblivion. By bringing me, the soul of all souls, into his heart, no evil can remain there. Swiftly is the hard knot of mundane ego severed, all doubts are slashed, and all mundane action is exhausted for that earnestly aspiring devotee. So this is the verse, and Śrīla Śrīdhar Mahārāj on a different occasion spoke again on the details and the nuances with his own unique interpretation. And I took some notes from that version and wanted to break it down and relish every aspect of this verse. And basically in 7 levels we see what's happening here in this earnestly aspiring devotee's life in their heart. And first there's a taste, a higher taste, an attraction, an awakenment of faith in the heart of this earnestly aspiring devotee, and becoming indifferent to all other types of activity, becoming indifferent to the mundane world, the materialistic world. And this earnestly aspiring devotee can understand that everything else is reactionary in this world. The life we're living in the plane of exploitation is subject to the stringent laws of karma, action and reaction. And this devotee understands the pain-producing effect of engaging in karmic reactionary life, but unable to fully give it up immediately, cannot overcome the clutches and the stranglehold, the material world, the temptations, and the tendency to enjoy and exploit in the world. Difficult to give it up by their own sweet will, but cannot abruptly cut it off. So, knowing that all sense gratification will lead to misery, and still going on with a happy mood, with a smile, with enthusiasm, going on with the worship and faith and conviction, and sometimes getting entangled in the remaining effects of one's past misdeeds, getting caught in the stranglehold of sense gratification, and repenting that, feeling some shame for that. And then that faith that earnestly aspiring devotee has, and the attraction, that is becoming stronger and stronger, and it's of eternal nature, and it can't be stopped. And despite undergoing some difficulty, that devotee goes on, and the more is that he or she is enduring, the more firmness the faith and the internal nature becomes, the internal devotion comes to that soul, and ultimately becoming invulnerable. So more pressure coming from outside, the more firmness is coming from the inside of that devotee. And turning their back on the material world and the pains of the world, and keeping that divine ideal in front. And doesn't complain, making progress, not complaining about one's karmic situation, and enduring with tolerance and forbearance, and not leaving the ideal. And whatever comes, comes, and never mind the reactions that are coming my way due to my own doing. Never blaming the environment, taking full accountability, owning what is coming to me, what is coming in my front from the environment, from my own reactions. I will happily face that. And only blames oneself and sees that bondage, that concentration camp within, blaming no one, only taking and owning that as my own situation that I must endure. And the more one becomes intense in their devotion, the more one accelerates in their progress in this divine aspiration. then this earnestly aspiring devotee is engaged fully in service as enunciated by the Master, the Guru, the Gauranga, the Lord, and the heart's becoming fully situated there. And all the material desires in the heart become evaporated and destroyed by the potency of devotion. And the Lord says, I come down, extending my existence into the heart. Everything else will disappear, like the sunrise of the heart. The first rays of the heart, first rays like the sunrise come and destroy all the darkness, bring the light, and remove all inauspiciousness. And all the ties and entanglements, all the corners and angles, they vanish, and all crookedness vanishes. And one finds themselves in a very spacious, all-embracing temperament. The atmosphere changes, and the ties of attractions are dissolved. There's no more outside necessity, and the knot of the heart is pierced. All misgivings are cut to pieces, and the chain of fruit of action is terminated. Then, internal approval and higher assurance arrives into one's heart, knowing that I'm entering into my own land, and my soul is finding its place. And there's no doubt about it. I'm feeling and tasting home comfort, and all my hankerings are fully fulfilled in this plane. Every atom of their existence is finding its corresponding part. Every part bears witness, yes, I've reached the destination. I'm fully fledged and satisfied, and this is home, and there's no room for any doubt. No force of reaction or trouble can come anymore, and they won't be dragged down or brought backwards. And all that is severed, and full perfection and all fulfillment is received, and tracing that friendship and relationship to divinity, to the Lord, to the infinite, that is all revealed. So much encouragement is here, showing us this is our highest identity. A radical transformation needs to take place within, allowing the Lord to reveal himself in the heart and take away all inauspiciousness and destroy all that is inauspicious and under the influence of Maya and illusion. He's coming and revealing himself in all of his glories. So, Jai, all glories to this beautiful verse and Śrī Prapanna-jīvanāmṛtam, Srimad Bhagavatam, and my grandfather Guru, Śrīla Bhakti Rakṣak, Śrīdhar Dev-Goswāmī Mahārāj, and my Guru who's given everything, Śrīla Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev-Goswāmī Mahārāj. Jai, Śrīla Gurudev, Shri Guru and Gauranga, Sparikashi Shri Guru Gauranga, Radha Govinda Sundar, Giridhari Ju Ki Jai.